Well, good day, everybody. Welcome to the HireMyVA Team and Business Building Podcast, where we help you to reclaim your freedom through hiring and thriving with virtual assistants without breaking the most important bank, which is yours. And I'm Dave Braun. I'm here with my partner and great friend, Larry Broughton.
Hello, David.
Hello, how are you?
Thank you for being my friend.
Yes, thank you. You're welcome, and vice versa. All right, let's
If people really saw how we were behind the scenes, geez Louise.
Oh, yeah.
There's a reality show in the making right there.
I think so. Not one that I would watch, though. All right, topic. I'm afraid they'll take, okay. So we've had this question from somebody, and they've said, they're concerned it's about, taking my money and disappear. I give them money to work, and then all of a sudden they're off and they're gone. So, that's the thing is they're afraid that somebody will take their money and just disappear.
Hey, it's a legitimate concern, Dave. I mean, we both know people where this has happened to. But here's the funny thing. There's two coins to every side. There's two sides to every coin. Is that there are service providers and VAs out there who have the same concern. I'm going to do all this work for somebody and they're not going to pay me, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think one of the great things there's a lot of great things about this program, but we walk everyone through on how to make sure and avoid that from happening, right? Whether it's small projects first, test the waters, build trust, but really the VAs that we work with and lead you to and recommend, they're all professionals. And so they understand that I provide work and then there's going to be a specific payday, and we walk you through how to set that whole thing up, right? I would not encourage you, because you've got experiences with, I think somebody on the team now, where they did a bunch of work and didn't get paid. They got ripped off by the quote unquote employer or, right, the person that was hiring them. That's no good either, right?
No.
But let's go through. Let's just remember the karmic wheel spins for everybody on this. True. But Dave, why don't you give a couple of examples, or why don't you share your thoughts on this?
Well, one of the guys who did some work for us before, I asked him how it was going with your pay with other folks and what his experience was, and he had worked for a whole month without getting. There was the promise at the end of that. Now, he was naive, and you're naive, and we were naive. Everybody naive at one point, and we tried. So it like Larry said, there's two sides to the coin. It works both ways. So one of the things that we do, we'll give you a little tip that we have in the program. You get this for free. Is that if you really want to establish a good level of trust, you don't have them work a month for you or even 2 weeks. After a week they work, you pay them for the week. Then that starts building the bond of trust, because that bond of trust between the two of you is so important. So important. And so you gotta do that. You gotta establish the trust, and just gotta remember that, there's sometimes, you as an employer can get somebody who may think about screwing you, but then they get screwed also. There's a more likely scenario here, though, I think, Larry, that'll happen is that you hire somebody and they will potentially do two jobs. They may be double dipping. So while you're paying them 40 hours a week, somebody else is paying them 40 hours a week, and then they only work for the person who screams the loudest.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's more of a likely scenario about them taking your money, right?
Yeah. Yeah. One of the tips that we give in the program, is going to give it away, is that when you're first getting into this, if you're on the fence about hiring a specific VA, is to do a project with them first before you hire them full time. And if it's more than just a few hours of work, then actually set up a progress pay plan that they do a little bit of work, you pay them. They do a little bit of work, you pay them. But in the agreement, you say at these benchmarks along the way, you're going to get paid, so that it helps build that trust that you were talking about earlier, Dave.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's like any relationship you go into. If you go into it with a high level of distrust or mistrust, you're going to find what you're looking for.
Yeah.
In any relationship, right? So if you go into it looking for that, you're going to find that. If you go into it expecting great things, you're more often to find that as well.
Yeah. Now, another likely scenario would be that somebody on your team would ask you for an advance to their
And that
salary.
happens after a while, right?
Yeah, that will
Because you're
happen.
building a relationship. Yes.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so, that's happened to us. We've given advances, and things have happened where we haven't gotten it back. And so we've got some pretty steep guidelines to mitigate that, or to minimize the chance of that occurring, because, you want to be a great boss and you understand the scenario in their life, the circumstances in their life, and you want to help out, and you've established trust with them.
Mm-hmm.
But there's still some caution that you have to exercise.
Well, I'll just say this. If you start working with a VA and within the first month they're asking you for advances,
That's
probably
a big
a problem.
warning sign.
That's
a
warning
red
sign.
flag.
But if they've been with you for a year and they've been a high performer, and let's say that there's a medical condition that comes up, they've got to put their grandmother into a home or something like that. And it's like any relationship. Test the waters first. Start small.
Yes.
And build the trust. If we've got somebody who's working for us and a year into it, they ask for, hey, can I get $50,000 advance? Like my next year all in advance. That ain't going to happen.
That's right.
That's not going to happen. But then also make sure that you're really clear about what's the repayment of that.
Yes.
Right. But again, the good thing is we've got all this in the program. We have templates. We have guidelines for you on all this stuff.
Yeah.
What we've done in this thing, we've taken everything that's in our brain, all the mistakes that we've made, all the successes we've made, and we've just downloaded it.
Yeah. And if you're in the community, assuming you are, we're there, you just ask us a question. Hey, my VA wants an advance. Well, then guess what we do? We start asking you questions to see what the real circumstance is, what the scenario is. And to, you'll ultimately, it'll be your responsibility to decide, but we'll give you a bunch of questions to ask so that you have the best chance of making the proper decision for that particular situation.
That's right. Yeah. That's good.
Any other thoughts, sir?
Well, I just hope this was helpful, and I keep harping on this, but I think one of the most powerful elements of this program is the community. So if you do have questions, as you just said, Dave, go to the community, ask them. And if you've got questions or comments about this topic, please leave them in the comment section of wherever you found this podcast. And if you have questions that you'd like us to address, then bounce that off of us, either in the community or through one of the email addresses or wherever you can, and we'll be glad to address it. And if we've already addressed it, then we'll point you in the right direction, or we'll expand on it if we've not answered your question good enough.
Hey,
we're here for you.
I just thought of something. You know what the great thing is about our community? One of the greatest things?
What?
Well, maybe I shouldn't tell you. Maybe I should wait till the next episode. No, one of the great things is our VAs are in there as well. So you can ask them questions because they understand the culture more than we do of, the Philippine culture. They'll understand a lot more about what it is to work as a VA when, if people are asking this kind of question, can I get in advance, for example, they'll be like, okay, well, here's where I've asked for one before and here's what happened. And I've heard that I got some other friends who this happened to them. Yeah. So, they can bring a wealth of knowledge and experience to help guide your decisions on those kind of things.
Yep. That's good.
All right. Well, thank you folks for joining us.
Let me throw this out there. Let me throw this out there. Last thing, although we refer to the Philippines a lot, and we refer to international VAs a lot through this program, the way this program is developed, you can use this for anywhere. If you want to hire somebody from Ukraine or Russia or some other, frontier country, you can, or even here in the U.S., this applies there as well. The reason that we refer to the Philippines is that's where we've had the most success.
Yes.
There's some cultural commonalities. The language obviously translates really well, and we just love our team. It had a lot of success there, so that's why. But don't fear, this will work anywhere.
It will. Yeah. All right, is that it?
Okay. Yes, Dave.
Okay. All right, folks. Thanks for being with us. Remember, building a team is the way to reclaim your freedom. Right. We are here to help you, as we talked about. We're here to help you. Our VAs are here to help you determine what you need to do in certain circumstances. So 3 things right now we'd love for you to do for us. Number 1, and of course, we're going to really appreciate this. Yep. Number 1, subscribe to this podcast. Just subscribe. Hit the subscribe button on your phone. Number 2, give us a rating, preferably 5-star, but be honest. And then number 3, go to HireMyVA.com for more info on our course and community. Here, we can help you without you having experience, some of the stuff we just talked about. You'll learn how to prepare for, hire, and thrive with virtual assistants. Larry and I have helped a lot of people. We're helping them now. We're excited about it. And we want to help you too. Get on board with us. So just go to HireMyVA.com for more info. Thank you for being with us. Have a great day.
Yeah. And folks, if you are a practitioner, if you're a leader, if you are a business owner, or you're a high achiever, we know that you're the ones who are making things happen in this world. You're the world changers, and do yourself a favor, do the world a favor, do your community a favor. Go do something significant today. All right, folks, go get them.